Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Everquest Old School. And on tonight's episode, I am joined by a number of really good friends. We have Bushido Bull.
Hey.
And who are you playing tonight, man?
Disgruntled.
What level is your guy?
58, and he's 11% away from 59.
Ah, not bad at all. We also have Psycho.
Hello.
And tell us a little bit about your character. What level is he? What class? Things of that sort.
45 Troll Shaman. Getting close to 46. Hoping I can get it tonight and get out of this hell level.
How long you been stuck in the hell level?
Just since yesterday.
Ah, so that's not too bad. You're going through them pretty quick.
Yeah, I spent all day at the Spear Rock camp out there in Timorous Deep.
How do you like playing a shaman so far? Is like a class that's pretty, suits you pretty well, or you find it a little difficult to kind of get your groove in some groups?
Oh, dude, I love it.
Hey, what weapon you using there?
Who, me?
Yeah.
This right here.
Yeah, let's move up, guys.
There you go, sir. I just linked it.
Here.
And we also have Nano03 with us playing his bard.
Hey guys, what's up?
You want... Oops.
And what level is your guy? Level 60, right?
Yeah.
Are you completely and totally maxed out on experience?
You want that?
Completely. Yes.
You know, if you want, you could switch over to your warrior now that Thoom's gone. Maybe get him some experience over here.
Oh, it's all good, man. This is good. I mean, it makes it a little easier with the mezzes and charms and, like hanging out with you guys. And, of course, the Effretti boots and rings are nice if they drop. Everybody's after something, so that's good.
Do you need one of those rings for one of your ults?
The boots would be good for my Necro, maybe. The ring, I don't know. Would that be a good one for a Shadow Knight, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, it would be pretty good for a Shadow Knight.
The boots would be cooler. Boots would be cooler for me, though.
Wow, that was heavy.
Boots aren't bad for a Shadow Knight either. It gives you a little bit of mana, gives you a little bit of AC.
They give you 9 intelligence as well.
Oh, they're both heavy.
I need to get back to playing my Necro, though, at some point, because I want to get her to 39 for Summon Corpse, and I picked up the spell the other day. So...
How much did that run you?
It was 400 plat in EC Tunnel, so I was like, dang, that's cheap, I'm buying it. Or it seemed cheap. It's usually around 700 to 1K, so I saw it for 400, so I just went ahead and bought it.
Damage shield.
Yeah, you guys got to give me a minute on those lava guys.
Yeah, I'm just passing the information so you know.
Yeah, it's 12-second cast.
Maybe the shaman can dispel it if that helps. Well, yours is nice because it heals too, though, right?
Yeah, it's just it's a 12-second cast time, so it takes a second.
Yeah. Shaman might be able to dispel it faster. I don't know.
Spell.
Let's see. Will there be cancel magic?
Yeah, cancel magic works, dude.
Holy crud! Look how bad I'm hurt. Just from the damage shield.
Yeah, like if you see that on there, you might as well just stop attacking because you're probably going to kill yourself. And I'll get it on there pretty soon. Let's see. Glavator says, making a focus goal of keeping my melee skills capped for their levels. Something I regret not doing last time provides a nice passive activity. Definitely something you should keep up, guys. Not just your melee skills, but your swimming skill. Swimming, you'll go through tons and tons of zones where you don't use swimming. And then you'll finally get to one where there's a little bit like in Upper Guck, right there at the entrance. And if you ever have to train to zone, you're probably not going to make it because your swimming skill sucks. So just spend a few minutes here and there while you level. Every level that you can get 5 points. And it doesn't really take more than like 20 minutes for each one of those 5 points, or for all 5 points if you're at least somewhat of an intelligent character. If you're playing a ogre warrior, you may have to be swimming for quite a long time, but other than that, you should be pretty good.
The best place to up your swimming, whenever you got to run through Oasis or not Oasis, but North Row, swim. Just run to the right if you're coming from South Row, and then run to the right and hit the water. There's usually nothing out there except crocodiles, and they won't aggro.
There's also a little trick if you are not one of those people who are like, I'm not a big fan of swimming, I really don't like swimming. What you can do is you can strafe right there on the water line, right where the water meets the ground. And if you're running across a zone line, you will still level up your swimming skill as well as running on ice. If you run on ice, over water, you will level up your swimming skill as well. It's kind of a weird little bug that they never really got around to fixing, or maybe they intended it to be that way. I don't think they did, but you can run down ice back and forth like in permafrost and level your swimming skill up quite a bit. I just find a nice little swimming area and swim around in a circle while you watch Lord of the Rings, and you can level all the way up from level 1 to max at level 60 by the time you finish off the trilogy. That may sound like a long time, but if you're not really doing anything and you put little weight on your keyboard and just have them swim around in a circle automatically, then it goes by pretty quick.
It's a long movie, dude. I'm just saying. Just throwing it out.
What level are you swimming at?
Is the free
Mine's maxed at the moment, yeah. I did that with this guy.
Mine's maxed, and that was just because of starting out, and in a little swamp, you always have to swim.
Are we pulling
out? The middle mob's not up right now.
Okay, then he hasn't respawned yet.
Yeah, I spent a little bit of time because when we group, we tend to, go off and do things, and very rarely do we ever get a chance to go off and go to the bank and do some of the maintenance that a character needs. So I tended to log on every once in a while and do that myself. Especially as a cleric, if you need to go res somebody and your swimming skill sucks, not only will you probably die because mobs will add on to you, but there's a chance you're going to suffocate just because you don't have a high stamina in the first place. And I believe stamina gives you more oxygen breathing, if I'm not mistaken.
It makes you so you can hold your breath longer.
Right. Plus your swimming skill. The higher the swimming skill, the longer you can hold your breath as well.
Hey, I don't mean to change the okay, Psycho. Something I want to tell you that I learned the hard way is you want levitate on when you're around here, because if you go out this door and to the right, there's a false floor you'll fall through, and you'll fall in the lava. So always
over this way.
Don't go that way. Yeah, to the right. If you go out that doorway and to the right, there's like a fake floor or something over that area somewhere. So.
Oh, nice.
Always have levitate on, man.
Yeah, okay, ended up right there and just kept running in a circle. It was funny.
And that's a placeholder. It's not a Freddy.
Right, let me get the Lava Guardian. Get the imp first.
It's already charmed, dude. Sorry.
Which one is the?
The imp's charmed.
Oh, no.
Which one is the placeholder?
I think the Lava Guardian, the one we're killing right now.
Right.
Because it wasn't up when we looked earlier, or I looked earlier.
Yeah, right. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the timer.
Alright, everything's slow, and I cancel magic on the Lava Guardian.
My bet, man.
Started. The timer started.
Ooh.
Kill the
little thing for me.
Cleric.
Like I'm gonna beat that guy in the face. So you've been playing some retro games. Do you have a favorite one that kind of got under your skin again?
Me?
Yeah.
Nothing like really sticking out. I played an Xbox game though, and it's a wizard game, and I don't know. Oh my gosh, why can I not remember the name of it? Nightcaster is the name of it, man. And I've never played it before, but it's really, really cool. And I'm gonna play some more of that one. So that's something I'm looking forward to.
Nightcaster. I had to recognize that. You said it was what type of game? It's a first-person shooter.
No, it's like a RPG. Almost gives you like when you listen to the beginning and the storyline, it's almost like Zelda. You know what I mean? Like the storyline kind of starting, but you're a wizard, and there's there's a bunch of spells you can learn, but it's kind of like 4 basic elements of spells you can learn: water, fire, light, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. But you have to pick your route on like what kind of a wizard you're going to be, like which one you're going to specialize in.
Like right at the very beginning of the game.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of cool though. The effects are really cool, and it's a little cartoony compared to like other RPG games, but it was really fun. I've only made one video and I've only had one play of it, but I'm gonna play more of that one for sure. It's pretty cool.
Well, when it comes to an RPG game, I don't mind cartoony. I don't mind older graphics because it's like the storyline that will pull you in, and the controls. Like, is it one of those games where I want to keep leveling up? Do I get kind of addicted to it? Do they do it in such a manner that I get rewarded for my efforts in an enjoyable way? Because some games, they just give it to you. Like it's too quick. You just get anything, and I don't really want to go out and grind a little bit just to get another level because my levels don't seem to really matter. Whereas other games, you get that next level and you're like, holy crap, I'm playing like a beast,
Yeah.
And you have that for a certain point of time until you're like, all of a sudden the enemies start leveling out or out leveling you, and you're just like, oh, I need to slow it down a little bit.
Maybe I haven't played it enough to know, to be honest, to be a good judge of it. But it's pretty fun so far. So,
well, that's good that it's made that kind of impact on you. I remember like Chrono Trigger and games like that back in the day. Fire Emblem, those games had a little bit of that RPG aspect mixed into it for an adventure game. Because you mentioned Zelda. Zelda to me always was more adventure than RPG, but lately in more recent years, it seems like they have delved into the RPG genre more and more these days.
Yeah, have you watched some of the new one, man? It's pretty out there, all the stuff you can do. Yeah. It's almost like an open world big time map, like you can climb walls and stuff in it.
Yeah, my niece and nephew have it, and I was watching it. What it seems like to me is they pulled a lot of aspects from other games that I definitely enjoy, and I'm glad they did it, because when a game comes out with a good idea, it's very, very difficult for somebody to kind of look at that and be like, well, we can't copy them because people say we're copying them. You know, they copied the towers from Assassin's Creed, where you'd have to go up and get like the waypoints, and you could see it spiraling all around you, and that would open up the map for you. They did that in this one as well. They have those little real tall points that you can go up and you can kind of see the surrounding area. It's open world, so you can climb up mountains like you were saying, and you can pretty much go wherever you want. I like that they did that. I like that they pulled those functions from other games. They also gave you like clothing that if you're going to go into a cold area, you have to put on like a little bit more wintry gear, eat some hot food or drink some hot liquids to kind of keep your body temperature warm enough that you're not freezing and taking damage. If you go to a hot area, you got to kind of do the reverse, take off all those clothes, put something on that allows your skin to breathe and gets that kind of airflow over you. That to me kind of seems like Fallout. Go ahead.
Twilight Princess did that already. I mean, somewhat too, to be honest.
Man, Twilight Princess was by far one of the least favorite games that I had that was Zelda. It was big for the sake of being big, it felt like. Like, it didn't seem like there was a lot there. Like, there's tons and tons of areas where... Because I'm one of these guys that I'll go off and I'll try to get all the hearts. I'll go off and try to get all the little secret areas that, you know, you have to go and do these little puzzles and things like that. I enjoy doing that for the most part. Yeah. That one, like, you go off... I remember this one heart. You went into the country. Absolutely nothing around you in the game at all. And you traveled for about an hour to get to it. That's it. That was all that was there is a heart that you traveled to an hour to get to. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, at least give me something in that area to make it seem somewhat worthwhile, because you're just creating these giant landscapes, these giant maps that are just empty voids. And they've kind of carried that over into the new one. There's a lot of areas where you can see that there could have been so much more. And I think maybe they rushed it a little bit. I don't know. I can't say for sure, but it seems like they told the map guy, the guy who's creating these areas, go big, right? Go create these huge landscapes, and we'll fill them in at a later date. And they just forgot to fill them in, or they just didn't get time enough to do it. So my brother,
that was one of my favorites, though. To be honest,
really, you like that one?
Wind Waker was probably my very favorite.
I'll agree with you on that one. That was my all-time favorite.
No,
except for the first one.
You guys are completely wrong. In my opinion, I like Ocarina of Time, man.
Yep, that's my favorite.
That's a good one. That's a good one too.
Water Temple, dude? Really?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it didn't always have like the best parts, but it was pretty good.
I played that like not too long ago. You know, like replayed Ocarina of Time and Water Temple, and I rage quit, and it deleted my whole save, and I was so sad. I wanted to cry.
Oh my god. That sucked. That's one thing they were talking about with the Switch, you know, which is having... It's completely different issues from Zelda and the Switch. The Switch is the system that Nintendo came out with, and they've been having some issues with it. Lots of issues, actually. And one of them is, you know, the game... The system wasn't really designed 100% effective, and people were losing their saves. And you're talking about a game like Zelda that they came out with that you can play for hundreds of hours. My niece and nephew, they spent their entire spring break playing that game, and every moment that they had since then, and a little bit before then, playing that game, and they still have yet to beat it. They're getting all the secrets and everything, so that's, you know, that's cool. That's a lot of hours that you're putting into it, that you might eventually come to it one day and have your entire game gone.
Well, that's the thing with the newest Zelda in the Switch is there's like 900 something parts and stuff that you can, and different collectibles that you can get and stuff. It's pretty crazy.
Well, and they don't allow the saving of data on a separate drive. You know, like a backup drive.
Yep.
Like the Wii and the Wii U did, so that if something happens to your system, your save game is just gone. Like there's no way to retrieve that. There's no backup, and it seems like an oversight since the other two already had it. You know, and some of the other issues we've talked about before in the past that they're having that just seem very easy to fix. They just again rushed it, maybe in my opinion, that they just didn't have enough time to refine those. And you know they will. You know they're going to come out with another Switch and another Switch and another version of the Switch, just like they do with everything else, the Xbox Slim and the PlayStation, you know, yada yada yada. I'm just not a big fan of them doing that, so I'll tend to wait now. When I was a kid and the PlayStation or the Xbox or the Nintendo or the Sega was coming out, you know, we'd make a pick, like as all our brothers would get together and be like, okay, we really, really like the games that are coming out for the Nintendo. Let's go with Nintendo this time, and next time we'll go with the Sega.
Yeah,
we didn't really work. Go ahead.
The thing is with the Xbox is I got a day one when it came out, the Xbox One, and I haven't had no problems with mine at all. So
yeah, but a lot of people have, and that's the problem. Is we never, as a kid, we never had to worry that we were going to have issues with the system. That was never something we were talking about. Like, oh, is this one going to have a problem? Is this one going to have a problem? Should we wait a little while? But nowadays, that seems to be a big concern for a lot of gamers. The Xbox One, when it first came out, they had all those issues where, like, what was it? 1/3 of the systems that were delivered day one had bad CPUs or motherboards or something was wrong with them, and they had to send them back immediately to get new copies.
Not mine, man. I guess I got lucky then.
Well, this is Xbox One, not the Xbox 360. Xbox One had plenty of problems too.
No, that's what I was saying. Is I got the Xbox One when it came out day one, and I never had any problems at all.
Right. So I mean,
hey, this is off subject. Do you want me to dot or anything? Like, I mean, I'm slow and everything, but I can spot heal or whatever.
Whatever you want to do, man. I would say keep regen on everybody, and just because the DS, this damage shield is pretty nasty, but beyond that, whatever you want to do.
I'm not used to this, man. Normally I gotta heal, I gotta slow, I gotta debuff, I gotta dot, I gotta buff.
You can take it easy, just chill and relax.
I know. I have mana, and I've had full life. Something's wrong.
It's a pretty easy camp, man.
And we got Nono here who's pumping mana into everybody.
Well, last night, me and wifey were like, hey, you know what? Let's try to take 5 mobs. We can do that. And...
oh, God.
Well, the thing is, man, we got 4, and the 5th one was down to like 30%, and then I ran out of mana and root broke, and my dots wore off, and then slow wore off, and we're like, yeah, we're dead.
It's kind of interesting, though. It kind of teaches you what your point is at the moment. Like 4.5 mobs seems to be your limit.
Yeah. I like the slows, the shaman slows, because I use it for like a snap aggro. So when she pulls anything or an ad comes in, I can snap aggro it to me with the slow, and then I can root it wherever I want. So that way it's an easier crowd control for us.
Yeah, you're getting to the point where you might be able to start going to Kale. 46 might be a little low, but by the time you get to 48, 49, you guys could probably start going over there and forming groups. And a tank and a shaman, really all you need is some type of crowd control, and you guys should be fine to be able to do the plate house, and you can start getting some stuff for.
Well, not really. What was that shaman's name that we had in the group the other day? That ogre shaman. No. I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah, the one that was the enchanter from Soul Beat.
Yeah. But anyway, he was having trouble flowing at Fushi too. So.
Well,
I'd come here, man. This is the zone I'd be in at your level. You're going to level fast here, man.
I just meant for the armor. You know, like when you're going to KO, you can get that armor for.
But shamans don't use plate, man.
Well, I meant for his tank.
I need chain. Yeah.
Like you want to get the tank outfitted more than anything, and then get the shaman as extra, because the shaman can tank pretty well as well.
Yeah, we sometimes run open kale things just between our group, man. You know, for friends and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Throw them in there with us sometime. They could come.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are always welcome.
Come on down, man.
Well, we were not trying to really like bug you guys because she just got 48 last night, and we were trying to get to like 50 before we even was like, hey, you guys want a group, because we didn't want to like bring you guys down, like it limit what we can do just because the two of us were in our 40s. You know what I mean?
AC's monk was in KO the other night, man.
Yeah, we don't look at it like that at all, man. Like we'll figure out who we got.
Seriously,
what classes
your
we have.
monk was in KO?
He started going to KO at like 43. So, you know, if you got the right peeps and, you know, you take the risk that you might die quite a bit, you go in there and you have fun. And that's all we're really worried about, is as long as the people we have that are with us are having fun and we might be able to get you guys some loot as well, like that's just a bonus. You know?
Yeah, I went there at 46 on my monk, and I was expecting to die, and I did die, but I have to accept that.
I know I watched that one kill video that you posted a couple days ago where ZK never sat down. That was always at full mana.
You want to look at like what a beast shaman is, you know, because you're like where you might be one day if you get all the gear that ZK has. That is exactly where it is. Like you just never have to put your butt down on that ground.
Well, that's like Cypher. He kept yelling at me yesterday. He was like, "You can't play like a Torpor shaman. You're not ZK." And I was like, "I'm practicing."
What are you gonna? One day, man. One day.
When ZK's in the group, he makes me feel like I can relax and not even really have to heal ever.
I keep sitting down and I don't even need to. Like I'm not used to this, man. I'm really spoiled right now.
It's probably weird is when you don't have to canny all the time.
I keep healing him. I keep healing him.
That's what's weird, man. Is I've normally I always run at like 30% life to 50%. I never have full life, let alone full mana.
I like to keep shamans healed, and you know sometimes they're like, "Oh, don't waste your mana." I don't normally go down past 90% for a cleric if I can help it. But if I got more than 90%, I'll go ahead and heal the shaman because I know with you guys you can transfer that mana
that's
into
just
damage.
More mana.
Yeah, I mean you guys could do more damage with it than I could ever do with that. So, and the faster those mobs go down, the less I have to heal.
In that regard, they're similar to a Necro, but the only difference is Necro could just turn around and tap a mob and get his health back.
Yeah, but I think the shamans, they have it better. I mean, you know, the Necros definitely don't have too much of a problem with their mana regen, but I think in a race, if I had to put them side by side, I would think the shaman would be able to.
I still aggro.
Well, that slow is pretty nasty.
Well, then I dotted it too, which didn't help.
And we don't have a pure tank here, so nobody's able to really taunt.
Well, my people would have came if her 13-year-old stopped by tonight.
What was that about stopping?
Her daughter is over here tonight. Otherwise, she would have got on and ran with us.
No worries, man. You know, maybe next time we'll get him in there.
Get her daughter a computer and get her on there, and you'll have your own group.
Yeah.
I think you need another, what is that called?
Exemption?
Exemption. You need IP exemption for that.
He's already got one. Because they play together.
I know they do them for LAN parties. If you got all your friends coming over, they'll give you like 5, 6, 7 exemptions. So I wouldn't imagine 3 would be too much of a problem. But what does your wife think about the new computer? Like, is she digging that one?
I think she's a little jealous.
Well, I mean, she gets to use it too, right?
The thing about IP exemptions right now is that they're extremely backed up on petitions right now. I saw that on the P99 forums that, you know, there was somebody that put in a petition 3 months ago and it still hasn't been answered, so they're really backed up right now.
Yeah, I think it's just a busy time for them.
Yeah.
Well, we got lucky. We started it before a lot of people started, because it only took us like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean it does happen that they get really backed up. You know, they got other things going on in their real life. They can't, you know, dedicate the time and stuff. So unfortunately, it does happen, but it does suck. But there's nothing we can really do about it. It's
not too bad. I mean, if you think about it, it's not that both of you can't play. It's just that both of you can't play at the same time. So you can log on one at a time, and you know the other one just kind of watch or take turns or whatever the case may be for those first 2-3 months. And you know, the first 2 or 3 months, you're just getting used to the game again. And yeah, it'd be nice that you could do it together, but there's nothing wrong with kind of playing an alt, and then when your exemption comes through, make 2 other characters that you can level. at least that way you get a feel for which ones you may end up liking. If you want a melee or a caster or whatever it is this time around, if you played the first time, you may have played a melee class, and this time around you're just like, yeah, you know what, I'm feeling the casters more than anything else. That's kind of happened to a few people.
Right. Yeah. I mean, also the thing is, you may not like the class that you're doing, and like you said, you can just switch and have fun that way.
You gotta look on the bright side. It's a free server. You don't have to pay anything to be on here. Although, if you do like the server, they do have a donation box that you can go on there, and it helps to run it. It pays for the servers and all that kind of maintenance that they have to do on it. They don't take any of that money for themselves. It's just pure running the game for all of you guys. But beyond that, you don't ever have to pay a penny, and it's just completely free. So give them a little bit of slack, or actually quite a bit of slack. I remember Sony, where I had to pay monthly to be a part of that, was really, really slow on their customer service too. So, like, I still see this as better. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have any weird issue? I know a couple of you guys are eating right now, so you may not be able to reply, but I had some weird issues with Sony back in the day, having just kind of wait.
I had some major problems with them. Yeah,
my account got stolen back when I was playing it.
That's the thing I used to hear about all the time on the patch notes. Change your password. We got hacked. Blah blah blah.
Well, what it was is this dude approached me one night, and we talked for like 2 hours. Right, that he wanted a warrior and all this, and I was playing an ogre warrior. That's the only character I ever had. I never had an alt, nothing like that. And I was level, was it 53? And he was like, dude, I'll trade you.
Room popping.
He was like, I'll trade you my monk right now, which was like a level 57 epic geared monk. He was like, I'll trade it to you for your warrior, like account for account. He also had an epic geared wizard. And I was like, I was young, dude. You know what I mean? I was only like 14 at the time. And so I was like, absolutely, yeah, I'm going to do that. And I played on his account for like a week. And apparently that dude had a horrible, horrible reputation on the server. He ninja looted like 4 or 5 different dragons. And I didn't know it. So like I had a lot of enemies and I didn't know why.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to log on one day and he stole his account back.
He changed his password is what happened.
Yeah, because he still had access to all that.
And so what I did was finally got a hold of someone that worked at Sony through like a month-long process, and they got my account back for me. And when I got my account back, I had a full set of Cobalt armor, the Cobalt breastplate. My epic was over halfway done. I was like level 57.
Wow.
And then Plane of Knowledge came out, and I quit. I still have that account with that character, unless they, got rid of it.
Yeah. No, they never get rid of it.
It's still there. They even have it on the little bottom of every load-in screen. Never give out your password and screen name to anybody. So many people did that.
Unless they merged servers and you had more than one character on different servers.
But yeah, it's definitely, there's a lot of scammers out there, and they did have so many people with bad reputations, and they tried to get out of it so many times. They came out with these potions down the road where you could change your name, you could change your race. Unfortunately for them, Sony wasn't... I don't think their idea was for you to get away from people who did not like you. I think it was more of, we're giving you this kind of cool concept of changing your race midstream for an extra $50, and you would go on and like keep your character and not have to start all over. Because they had it where you could still track that account and who it belonged to. And so all these people who changed their name and changed their race and then logged in the next day, like, people could still find out who they were. And they did, because the community was so tight-knit that they weren't willing to allow these people to kind of escape the pain that they had brought in on themselves by being, buttheads to the community at large. Ninja looting, taking, like, if somebody ninja loots a dragon, holy crap. Like, I can only imagine the... like, what happened? Did people train you? Like, did people, like, giving you all sorts of crap all the time everywhere you went? Like, what was the downside to that, dude?
Well, I was in EC Tunnel, and I had the Cloak of Flames, on the monk. So I was like, yeah, this is awesome, dude. like, this guy is so badass. And then this dude comes up and sends me a toad and is like, yeah, you're welcome for that cloak of flames, and started cussing me out. And I was like, what? And then I was talking to my buddy, and he's like, yeah, dude, he just ninja looted that cloak of flames 2 days before he got that account.
Ah.
Yeah, so it wasn't fun. I mean, nobody would group with me. I didn't know what I was doing with the monk, so I didn't even know I could solo or none of that stuff, so it was bad, dude.
Yeah.
But then when I got my account back, I was like, oh my god, look at all this stuff. And then he, of course, ruined my reputation on my guy. So it was just all around bad.
I never get people like that go in there, they take stuff and then don't expect, or they don't care that it's going to be like this negative. I don't see how they keep going. Like, what drives them to come back to a community-based game when all they do is alienate the community? And usually, those people didn't have the longevity. They were there for a short amount of time, and then they would eventually fade out after, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. Some of them lasted for a decent amount of time, but they never lasted forever. Whereas the ones who tended to be nicer to the community, or at least find a place within it and be a part of it, would last for years and beyond.
Froglark, I need a haste when you can, please, sir.
Oh, coming right up, man.
It's almost like that guild who got, butthurt and left the server after waking up the sleeper.
Some people like to play the villain, man.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But you saw, like, they didn't stay. They left. So they do these horrible things and then they leave. Like, that's the end game for them, is to leave. Whereas anybody who has, like, the longevity of staying tends to be a little nicer. Because you just can't survive on a server that's, so small with people who know who you are. Like, I run into people when I first started that didn't know who I was and didn't know I was streaming and doing all these recordings, and they would recognize my name because they had grouped with me the day before, or a week before, or 2 weeks before. So there was a little bit of, accountability for your actions. If you're a good cleric or a bad cleric, people would be like, oh, let's get this guy in the group, or I'm not sure I want to group with him in this one spot because it's kind of tough. Did you ever see that as a bard, Donald? Because, I mean, your class is even more so. If you play it really well, or if you play it really bad.
Yeah, I mean, we're no different than other classes. If you get a horrible enchanter, or a horrible shaman, or a horrible cleric, I remember on this server, and I don't remember the name, and even if I did, I wouldn't say it, but I had the worst cleric I ever had in KC Basement on this server in my whole EQ career. Like, literally, he's like, oh, I gotta go, see ya, and camped out right then and there. Like, we were killing 2 mobs. I had one mezzed and I was tanking one. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay.
Like, in the middle of the fight, he just like, boom, I'm gone.
Okay, guys, thanks for the group. I'll see you later. I gotta go. Yep.
In KC, like, I can understand that at level 5, because, a lot of people don't know any better, and they kind of do some crazy stuff, but in KC, you're high enough level that you understand how the game works and what kind of a pain in the butt it is to get a res. And
I could understand, holy shit, my kitchen's on fire. And then, queuing out, like, all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
And the police are at my door.
He took the time to camp and everything. You know what I mean? Like, and he camped right there in the room we were killing in, which was really weird, too, I thought.
Well, when I quit playing, dude, there was a bunch of people, because I think I was on the Finn and Rose server. And, on the Finn and Rose server, dude, there's a lot of people selling their accounts, for thousands of dollars, and people were buying them. And I got in this group with this cleric and this enchanter that you could tell they bought their character, because they didn't even know what spells to use. They didn't even know how to mez ads or none of that stuff. And I'm sitting here like, help me, I'm a tank, and you're using greater heal on me. Like, I'm taking too much damage, and you can't even cast fast enough. Then the enchanter's just casting haste on me. That's all the enchanter did. It was no fun, dude.
But yeah, I mean, I forgot what I was gonna say. I mean, you guys were talking about accounts and stuff. I was trying to figure out what I was trying to remember what I was gonna say, but I honestly can't remember.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
You used to hear about that stuff all the time, though, about somebody coming back to the game and being a little rusty, but some of the other little details that you would not forget, like, you wouldn't forget like how to heal or where you need to stand or how mobs, you know, path around a corner, and like there's just a few things that every player, no matter how long they've been gone, will remember. And when you see somebody at a high level, especially in like the 50s or 60s, that just doesn't know that, like it's almost 100% obvious that they bought that account, and they never lasted. They would come in there, they play for a little while, and considering the amount of money that they spent on those characters, that they would just come in and play for a little bit is just mind-boggling. Like some people have some lots and lots of, you know, expendable cash apparently.
Yeah, my buddy sold his account on live. He had a maxed out Beast Lord and a Cleric, and he sold it for, I think it was like $5,000.
I thought about doing it for a while there because I had all my characters, the entire account was maxed out with maxed out characters. Most of them had their epics, and I saw how much they were going for, and I wasn't playing anymore, and you know, I thought about selling it, but I'm glad I didn't. You know, I don't play on live anymore, but that account is the same account, you know, that I have for Everquest 2. It's the same account that I've had for every, you know, Sony game, and it's carried over. And sometimes with like Everquest 2, they actually gave you rewards for having the Everquest game, you know, as for as many years as you had it for.
I remember what I was gonna say. I still got my account from 1999 when I first started, you know, and I still log on. I still log on from occasion. You know, I just sit in and play knowledge. I really don't do anything else, but yeah, I just sit out there and have fun and see what's all changed from time to time. But really don't do much. I'm mostly on P99, but when I do play here.
But on that note, guys, we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. I definitely want to thank all of you guys for coming out and joining us. As always, till next time.
Subscribe
and like.
Hey guys, and welcome to the disembodied voice of AC Gamer. We are definitely going to be doing a lot more series in the future, but here are a few of them that you guys might find interesting. Of course, you're more than welcome to check them out. I would love to hear your comments. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. It's definitely the indicator that I use to tell if you guys want to see more videos like that, of that particular game style, of that you know, series in the long run. So when you guys leave comments down, it helps me decide whether we should keep doing it, as well as whether you want to see games like that in the future. And here are a few of them right here. I kind of picked out a few of different genres. We will be doing spotlights for other YouTubers in the future, so if you want to get a little shout out, definitely let me know. If you group with me, chances are you will get a shout out in here eventually. But for now, these are just 4 series that I have that I feel like could use a little bit more attention, and that you guys might actually enjoy as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will definitely catch you all next time.